can we see that bird, please?
Sorry, Mark, which one?
That one that flew up.
Talk to me sometimes.
Bye-bye, bird. Okay, we won't get to that one. Well, it appears you missed my opening speech, as Tara called it. We were with the bird and somehow something happened to the internet. Welcome to Djuma Game Reserve this afternoon. Welcome to Sabi Sands. And welcome to our PM drive. Lovely afternoon, a little bit cloudy. Well, it's a very high cloud, so we still get this heat. Well, it's not hot, but it's a really lovely day. But it would be piping hot if this cloud wasn't there, so we're grateful for that. That's perfect temperature to see things. And in some cases, the neutral light is good for some things, and in some cases it's not. So I suppose lack of shadow is what I'm referring to. Every now and then the cloud thins, and that's when it gets really bright. Quite a glare. That's interesting. A new midden has begun. Can you see it from there? Almost like a hoedange. And a lot of seed in there. Now, all of that seed is jackalberry seed. Jackalberries are quite far from here. They're down at the Mulwati. We've just come through Philemon's Dip. We're on Philemon's cut line. The nearest jackalberry is either down at Treehouse Dam or way behind us in the Mulwati, equidistant, either southwest or due east. So this is an animal that covers a fair amount of ground. And it does have middens, and I'm sure we will be seeing more. There's another smaller pile to its left. I wonder if that could be a juvenile traveling with the adult. But I'll keep my eye on this, because if this is becoming a regular route for this animal and we start seeing tracks, we might be able to catch it on camera, which we have failed to do for a very long time. This way you need to put your camera trap. This junction.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, it's not going to be, you can, if anybody IDs it, you can mark next to its name you can put a D, because now you know what it's not. Well, you don't know what its tongue looks like. At the moment, it's got jackalberry seeds in it. About a month ago, from a little while ago, it was mostly raisin bush seed, and very, very soon it is going to be millipede exoskeletons, broken up millipede exoskeletons, and ground beetles, and tenebrionids, they're ground beetles. And what else is he going to? Scorpions, maybe mice, maybe bird bones, and not flowers, but here's a flower anyway. I don't think this seed would be found in that dung. This is only animal I know that eats this seed is kudu. Wait, I want to have to go to the other side, get a much better view of the flower facing the sun. I'd have to turn around. Okay, we'll do that in a bit. Unless I see another one on the way. Set the mood with color. Feel the moment with the flower. Should be able to get it from there. There's a leaf in the way. Well, we're seeing a lot of those flowers, and I'm sure I'll find you some that we can get with really good light on it. Early morning. And that is deadly nightshade, also known as poison apple. What else? Gifapple, Afrikaans. Solanum is its genus. I'll have to look in my book for the species name. There's so many solanums. And it is aubergine family, potato family. Okay, let's go. Thanks Lynn in Canada and RC. Lynn saying green spotted dove, which is what its name was changed to at one point. And RC saying emerald spotted wood dove. This is a bird that's name has changed probably about 3 times. It was always emerald spotted wood dove when I was growing up, and then it changed to green spotted dove, and then it changed back to emerald spotted dove. I don't know if wood dove is part of it. In fact, I'm not even sure what the name is now. But thanks Lynn, thanks RC. What did Paddy say? Okay, I don't know what Paddy said. Yeah, thanks Paddy and Brenda, also coming through with the name. Speaking of name changes and knowing Lynn, knowing that you're on board, we were talking about frogs the other day. But that frog that was being beaten up by a starling. Don't know what the frog did to have the starling so mad at it. No, seriously. Starling was trying to eat it. and soon learned that that particular species of frog is not necessarily a good idea. Anyway, it's got us onto a discussion of types of frogs, and the one type of frog that came to mind to me was a pixie. And I spelt it wrong, P-I-X-I-E, but it's not, it was P-Y-X-I-E. And it turns out I learned something new, that the genus for those smaller frogs has actually now changed. It's not only the common name, but it's the scientific name. Now I can understand why scientific names change, because genetic imprinting, genetic fingerprinting rather, is becoming a lot more precise as far as putting animals into different categories is concerned. And a whole lot of animals all over the world are being reclassified based on their genetics rather than their appearance. And these frogs were once classed with the big African bullfrog, which is Pixycephalus. And they were also once classed as Pixycephalus, and that's why they were called pixies. But they're now called sand frogs. They're now called something else. Sure, what's the name again? I'll think of it in a minute. Oh, look who's in the tree for me today. Take that, Tara. Dun, dun. Same tree that Tara had it. Decided to come and join me for my list. I see some buffalo down at the dam. See, now I can't use buffalo. It would be lovely if it called, yeah. Judging by how comfortable this bird is in this perch, I'd say it's visited this dam on numerous occasions in the past. Considering these birds have a relatively long lifespan, how are we to know that it hadn't been here for 10 years straight before we even got here in days gone by? So, well, normally they nest in the same places, but they will utilize different bodies of water within their territory. And these birds have an unusual territory in that it's cone-shaped. They're mostly associated with water, and where water is... Oh, somebody walk over your grave. Got the cold shivers. So and also the territory depends on the clarity of water and availability of fish, obviously. Oops, I might have just given it away. I see some other birds down the bottom that we need to go and have a look at so that I can add them to my list. In that their territories are cone-shaped, and where water is, let's say there's a kilometer stretch of water on the ground at 2,000 to 5,000 feet in the air, that is about 5 kilometers in the air that their territory extends to, because they do a lot of flying very, very high up. That's not for food, it's for courting, and just because they can. This is how they hunt. They sit on a perch and they wait for something in the water. Known to also feed on flamingos. I've seen them fishing on the on the coast I'm expecting an answer's already come in. At least I hope it has. Didn't copy. Not copying at all. We're going to go try and roll forward, Seb. I don't even know if we're broadcasting. Oh my word. You see what I see,
Yeah.
but we can't show it.
Why? Oh, that.
That baby.
I was looking at the bird.
No, the bird I want to get as well, but there's buffalo here, but there's a baby, something else I wish I could show. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
No, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to fix that.
And I just, well, pandemonium is broken out here. Sorry. Tara, can you just let me know if I can hear you, please? And everything's running. Yeah, at least I can sort of hear you now. 2 out of 5. Sure. Pandemonium broke out. Now, this is where I'm in a dilemma, because we have an exceptionally interesting situation here, but I'm technically not allowed to show it. And there's a standoff, and because of the standoff, I'm assuming, Tara, have we got an answer for that big bird? Just that I can talk about it and not lose it. Are we lagging? Well, if we're lagging, then nobody's going to hear me, are they? Oh, hey, so we...
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. Show it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Imagine something happens. I don't want to be responsible for that.
I mean, we're lagging, so it's, yeah. Can't even talk about it. Wonder when she had that. I haven't seen. I must find out when she was last seen, because that's that one female.
You wouldn't have a pair of pliers there by any chance, Mark?
No. No. Oh, there go my binoculars way down on the floor. I don't imagine there's pliers in here. It's spanners.
No, I want to tighten that thing. I think that's where the problem comes from.
That'll just turn and turn. I've tried it.
Is it?
Yes,
Because
I've turned it and turned it and turned it.
12 months ago I did fix it, but so you actually get marks here from pliers.
But I was the other day I was turning it and turning it the whole drive.
Yeah, but I think you need pliers. I did do that a few months ago. It's fine, I'll try again when we get back to the workshop. behind are we?
I have no idea. Combi heading southeast from Trias Dam. Whoops. Oh, sorry, Sebastian. Hello, little antelope. See you later. It was a steenbok. Oh, okay, another flower. I saw one of these the other day and I wanted to find it again when I was on drive the next day and I couldn't find one. We're going to be seeing a lot of them, but it's just nice to record the first ones we get on cameras for the season. This is the first of this. Where's a nice view through the grasses? Maybe through there. Back. Now you will have noticed that I've got a couple of pictures on Wirecast that I've put up every now and then. One's got a beetle on it and one's got a grasshopper on it. Let's actually find the one that's got the caterpillar on it. I think maybe Tara could even flash it on the screen quickly, one of those close-ups. Brilliant orange flower, known as a lion's eye, I believe. We will be seeing more, just to let you know that that's the first one and one of my daily flowers for the ladies. Botanically known as Triclycerus longipedunculata. Alluding to a three-chambered ovary, Triclycerus. How did I get three-chambered? Well, I guess that's what it means. And the longipedunculata is quite easy. It's a long peduncle, and the peduncle is the stem of the flower. It doesn't seem romantic to say, here my dear, here's a long pedunculed rose. I think the long stemmed rose is a little bit more romantic. But that is a peduncle. Oh, thanks Lynn, got the civet midden. Well done. Good one. Let's get all. Thanks Bobby, getting the fish eagle right. Yeah, we can use this one as well. So what were the questions I missed when I was at Treehouse? What you digging for, little one? A morsel. Something juicy. Got it. Whatever it was. Could have been a beetle larva, I guess. Now, these little animals have incredible claws for the length of their toes. I think on a millimeter for millimeter basis, I think they've probably got the longest claws of anything. Only one. A couple of other ones ran into the grasses. Oh, there we go, in the road. Oops. I don't know what's wrong with the radio. I don't know, maybe it's just me. When I'm in the seat that the radio doesn't work and the computer doesn't work and you started off coming through and then you just cut out. Cam came back with dwarf mongoose. Thank you, Cam. Deb wants to know if the fish eagle uses the same nest every year like the bald eagle. Yes, they do. They add a few sticks to it every year. But normally where they nest, there's a nice bird to catch. Black and white, we're on the black and white theme. Stay there, little one. There in front of me. Maybe I can roll forward. There's a perfect view of it. Oh, okay, we've got some teenagers watching this afternoon. Well, welcome to a group of kids that are joining us. if it's going to stay there. I wonder where its mate is. They're normally around together. Oh. Okay. I can just follow you all day, little bird. Tweet, tweet. I wonder, maybe Mom's on the nest because he's got something in his beak. Maybe taking it back to his lady. He was going to eat it. He'd have eaten it already. Oh no, there, his wife's just flown by into the knobthorn. She's got more brown than his black. But I don't know if we'll see them now. A bit far. Maybe they got babies already. Okay, well, we saw him. I'm sure someone might get a good ID. I think most eagles nest in the same nest. Even those that migrate, the Wahlbergs come back to the same nests. I think I'm trying to think of an eagle that doesn't. Hello Tina. Which time of the year is the best for me? 365 days of the year. I love this time of the year. Temperatures are perfect, insects are emerging, flowers are coming out. It's not the best for game viewing. It's, you know, with nature, each time of the year has its benefits and its drawbacks. Each time of the year has a positive and a not so positive. So some time of the year you're going to get the right temperatures and the bush is going to be open and you're going to see the animals and they're going to be concentrating at the anytime they can come by from Flammy. Karula. Coming from west, across the center, approach Karula. A transformer. Alright, let me go. Summertime you get some beautiful things, but you've got to be able to cope with the heat. It gets very hot. We had a couple of exceptionally hot days just recently before this weather moved in, and a lot of people can't deal with that kind of heat, and it dehydrates you. If you don't drink water you get headaches and feel nauseous. two birders, Canada and the Netherlands. Thanks Lynn, thanks RC. Lovely little male chin spot battis was that little black and white bird. The battis is closely related to the flycatchers. I want to try and see the nest of this bird. It's starting to get a little bit overgrown at the top of the jackalberry. Actually, with this light we might see it from the other side of the riverbed, but let's just see if we can get a gap through here first.
Follow this thing where until somebody gets here then. Just keep us updated.
Distant rumble of thunder. Still out of focus. Bit of focus.
Yeah, copy that. Thanks, man. Yeah, she did come back from senior now. She's going to the east.
I was hoping that we'd see baby. But there's another one, not exactly black and white, another one for the list. Sure, getting really hot and humid now. In front of the storm. Okay, time to head west. Via Gary Dam maybe. I didn't quite get the name. Just an email coming in about the white baboon. Sounds like you're on TM. On TM, sounds like you know a lot more than me. I have to be honest with you. I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. I know there's that white baboon at Pete's Pond, I think. And I've only just seen a picture of it and I commented on it once, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know much at all. So Hello MJ, wanting to know if we have long-tailed paradise widers. Yes, we do. Well, we get paradise widers. They do have long tails. Well, a couple of 5, 6 buffalo. But I guess you've all got Shuma waterhole cam. Thought I'd come by the dam. Swing by. A water buck up near the lodge. But I do need to get to the northeast. No, the northwest. Make that northwest. So MJ wanted to know, long-tail paradise wider. We do get the paradise wider. You know, name changes. Paradise. Yes, same thing, same bird. Now called the long-tail paradise wider. I suppose there wasn't enough in the name to suggest that it has a beautiful long tail by just calling it paradise wider. So they decided we better call it long-tailed paradise wider. But yes, we do. They're a beautiful little seed eater. At the moment, they're probably only just getting their long tails. For the dry season, they look like the females, and then they start getting their summer plumage, and those long tails start growing. And we ought to be seeing them. We'll be seeing them in mixed seed-eating flocks. A little later in November, December, when the grasses start growing and seeding maybe. But I will keep my eye out. Now I'm looking at rain up ahead of us. That's where this lightning and thunder is. Here them are now actually on the power line. We did the power line this morning because I had a funny feeling with all those termite mounds the Shivamba liner might be there. Anyway, this afternoon, what has transpired in the last half hour or so is that Karula has reappeared on the scene, and all three of them are together, and I want to go and see them. And I've been dawdling, hoping that the guys would move on from them, but it's not the case. So we still got to dawdle and bumble, as Seb says. We go for a bumble. Third party. Who can we get? We've got that one. Should be more of them. No. They're all flying away. Getting a little bit dark because the storm is now covering the sun in the west. You can actually see the rain coming out of that cloud. I wonder where we can bumble around to while we're waiting to try and get to that part of the world, so that we can see some fauna and flora in the process. Hot muggy afternoon, not much moving around. Gallagher shortcut, Aubrey's Road perhaps. Or should we do? Aubrey's Road, Sandy Patch North, rather. Keep an eye on the storm though, because although it's moving, gosh, Mary Jane putting me on the spot there. When the guides take out guests, do they concentrate on the big five or do they point out the smaller things? Mary Jane, I think it depends on the guide that you get. I know that there are guides. Can someone please let me know when there's a gap for that Ingwe? Ouch. Fabienne, this is for you. I wonder if you're home yet. Oh, it's just very dark looking into that storm. I'm not even going to see any colour on it. Oops. Not working. Worked a little bit. Okay, copied. Cubs. Well, Karula came from this area and she's bringing them back here, so there's a kill somewhere, and the cubs seem to think so because they're going a little bit. They're getting a little bit. So maybe we drove past it and I didn't even look, didn't even see it. Thanks, Joanne, Michigan. The lilac crested roller. Okay, well, let's go back a little way. We need to get beyond that tree that was pushed over the road, which is just ahead of us. Also, she might not have put it in a tree, so there might be a kill here somewhere that is on the ground and we can't see it. Guess we would have waited a while. We'd stayed there. And the beautiful thing is that the sun's going to pop out from underneath the storm cloud any minute. There they are. Well, they've gone off road now. But I think she might still be walking this way. I'm just going to stop here for now. Now she's going off road. You can find it when it's fresh. Right up in East Africa they chew palm trees. Leaves. The leaves of the palms, and what comes out is a very, very fibrous, ropey substance. This is very dry, it wouldn't do very well. Sorry, Fib. Thank you. Aubrey's Road. Where you going, Graham? Thank you. She's just looking to her side, making sure Shabinzi's following on. Playing leapfrog. Thank you kindly. quite a nice long road to watch them head down. As you can see, although there are 3 vehicles following them, we're not pushing them at all. They all keeping our distance, driving slowly, keeping a very slow pace behind them. Giving them all the opportunity to go where they need to go. In a minute now we're going to get the yellow light coming out. One of them's gone off now, running up on the northwestern side. Coming up to the fire break now. Getting her bearings. Why did you do that? This is the light for leopards. sorry. She might even be going over to Buffelshoek, in which case we're going to lose her. Yeah, we're on the fire break now. We've just followed them up the whole of Aubrey's Road. We're now on the fire break. And they're walking diagonally across towards Buffelshoek cut line. They'll be coming out at around the big Buffelshoek sign on Buffelshoek cut line. And then do things like that. He's getting his tail in Mom's face, just like Induna used to do. Right, let's get onto the fibre, onto the cut line. We might just lose them. Okay, see if we can wangle our way through here. Oh, and we're going to lose now. The light is just the most beautiful. Absolutely incredible light. It's called leopard light. Perfect light for cats. I wish this would do better than those. She's going into Buffelshoek. He's going to inspect something else. And that is really, really a pity. Funny. No, we can't follow. We can just follow them disappearing. Just when this beautiful light comes out, we'll have to say goodbye to them. They've moved across into a property that we are not allowed to follow. Thanks, Abel, all yours.
to move a little more east from Belisuksan on the block. Maybe they come out on the Moon Road or Belisuksan area on the boundary.
Excuse me. I'm gonna stay here actually because they're starting to move. Let's see if maybe she comes back out onto the road. She was sort of forced north by a vehicle that sort of blocked her path in a way. But whilst she's moving east, we'll just see if she's not going to maybe come closer to the fire break. Abel, come in. Yeah, I'll stand by here on the boundary in case she comes back this way.
Try to stand by the off-road heading more east on the block.
Okay, copy. Okay, thanks. We'll lay down now. We'll just make out Abel's vehicle about 100 yards in, or not even, 70 yards in. So close, yet so far.
Then over now
Ah. Couple of elephants at Trias Dam. Can you believe it? Hello Steve in Boston. Do we know all the other guides? Yes we do. We know all the guides in the area. We have monthly rangers guide meetings with all of them. And where we drive are only the Vuyatela guides with a couple of other lodges that are allowed to traverse onto this property, as well as some of the landowners that come to this property. So most of the guides that we communicate with are the guides from Vuyatela, Juma Vuyatela's lodge, or rather Vuyatela Juma's lodge, and then there's Cheetah Plains that's allowed to come here. There are two guides from Cheetah Plains, this one Abel and another guy by the name of Jacques. And on weekends you find landowners in of the Sabi Sand who don't have their own, they don't have commercial lodges, they just have their own private camps. They often bring their own guests, their own family, friends, colleagues. And they pretty much drive anywhere. That's as far as we get on kinetic energy. Nice sky. Well, I'm glad we managed to get to see the cats for you. All three of them together. I hope that she's taking them to a kill. We'll find out later, I guess. Yes. Gee, this is close then, and that's going to be coming our way. Let's go down the Mvubu Road. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Uh-oh, my hat. Go down Mvubu Road, we're going to drive into it. We have to go down Gallagher shortcut. This can go under there.
Ja, die kan even goed.
Just putting a tarp over everything at the back. But whoa, look at that coming. Okay, we're going to make our way back towards base just in case. It is coming, it's starting to come down heavy. Yeah. When we get to Gallagher shortcut, I just want to see, maybe she's, well, no, we're not going to really be able to film much. But it's a monkey's wedding. There's pretty heavy rain coming. I didn't realize it's coming so fast. Looking at the storm in the west, it's moved around. Not thinking that what's coming up from the south is moving just as fast. Back on the road. At the moment it's a few hard drops that are falling. At any minute now I'm just going to have to switch off, I think. Wow, look how black it is. Just all of a sudden it just got so dark. The southeast is where it comes from, and it is going to be pouring very soon. I'm going to have to get the vehicle back in, and I'll get back into FC as soon as I can. Probably take me about, from now, about half an hour. No, 20 minutes. I want to close my car as well. My car's also open, so I want to close my Land Rover also. Summer storms. If I remember correctly, last year and the year before, we had pretty dry Octobers, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it dry Novembers and even dry early December? Wow, such beautiful colours. Looking into that dark cloud, there's a little bit of sunlight in the west. It's probably about the most beautiful time, the most beautiful light, just the most beautiful effect that you can get in the bush. Just prior to a storm, when you've still got an open sky in the west and this darkness moving in from the southeast. I managed to stay ahead of it. If I think we went down Mbubu Road, we might have gotten caught. But now we have to drive straight into it as we drive towards FC. Beautiful. Oh, there's a rainbow coming. Look at that albizia in flower. Drainage lines. The albizia is in flower. Like one at Treehouse on Elephant Skull to Treehouse Dam, that drainage line, and the one at the Sausage Tree must be flowering beautifully. Well, unfortunately this is it's bigger than I thought. Penny did say we were getting it. The faint rainbow. There's a good chance also, just judging by this, that it might move over the eastern part and we'll just get the edge of it. We'll move over Kruger. Excuse me. So far we're not in any immediate danger. We have managed to just stay around the edge of it. Got a few heavy drops. I was going to say that I never noticed that orange thing on the top of the mast, but it's not. It's just one of the dishes reflecting the sunset. Speaking of which, let's turn around and see a bit of that. It's going to be very, very hard to beat the sunset of yesterday that Seb found. I'm not even going to try and beat it today. But I can try multiple there. Take a shot at that one and let's see if we can find another shot of interest. It's about to move, about to disappear behind that cloud. We're not even going to see it touch the horizon today. Or the mountains for that matter. Can't beat them, join them. Almost a heart shape actually. The romantic in me. Oh, there's a little gap underneath. Suspended by those sticks. Wish it could stay there. Okay, we're not racing to FC just yet. Excuse me. And that was it. Well, the sun's still up just behind cloud now. Let's go down Weaver's Nest. Stay fairly close by, just in case. See, we've had this little gap in between two storms. Still raining in the east, I'm sure even on Cheetah Cutline. But it's swung north and missed us. Mine. Oh, that's just the beginning, because looking at what's up in the sky, there's lots more coming where this little storm came from. Oh, somebody's there. Inga's home. Must be. Wow, look at that sky. Even though we've lost the sun, as I say, it's still up, so it's still throwing some beautiful colour into the sky. If we can get to see it a little bit further down. Philemon's Dip. A little bit of a gap here. Okay, let's use this little bit of light we've got left to see if we can find those elephants. Just want to show you something on this road. You can see the middle of this road and you can see there's a pipe there. That's the pipeline that takes the water to the camp. And strangely enough, when you use a certain class of pipe in the bush and you work on a slope where you get water, the head of water sucking back down into the lower lying areas without a non-return valve, sucks the pipe closed, and then when you pump water again it opens the pipe, and the pipe actually walks itself up onto the surface. Because that pipe is exposed, they've closed this road, so a lot of the brush packing actually needs to be a lot more intensive than this. This is sort of a beginning of it. But a couple of people have inquired about those branches on the old Philemon's Dip road. We join up with it now. But that's to try and rehabilitate it. It's to try and get vegetation to grow back there, to stop the erosion. But it does need a lot more packing than that. Brush packing. I've done some very impressive erosion rehabilitation using mattress packing, brush packing of dead sticks and twigs, branches. And erosion is not an easy thing to deal with, because once it starts, first of all, you're losing your topsoil. So you're losing the very layer that is going to provide nutrition and support for new growth of plants. Here we are, coming into Philemon's Dip, and almost overnight, these false thorns, also known as albizias, have started flowering. Now the light isn't great. I'm going to leave it to my colleagues to show you, perhaps in the morning. Tara, there's this beautiful one here, and there's one lower down, you can see better. Just all around this sausage tree. And there's another one behind the sausage tree. Little puffs of cream color flowers. Sausage tree. Hello sausage tree, we're not ignoring you, you're just not changing at the moment. And now we're looking into the sun, so we can't see the flowers of that other one. But an incredible show of flowers this year from the albizia. Albizia harvii, the broadpod false thorn. Now, learning trees can be quite difficult, especially since they don't all flower at the same time of the year, and quite often it's necessary to experience all three phases of, in fact 4 phases of a tree. When it is bare, when it's got leaves, when it's got flowers, and when it's got fruit or seed. In fact, you could say 5, when it is 6, when it's getting its leaves and when it's losing its leaves. 6 stages of a tree. And sometimes you can know a tree just by seeing it in one stage because it's such a distinctive tree. And sometimes you have to see all 6 stages of a tree to learn what it is. And with them flowering now, it makes it easier to learn some of them, especially that particular tree. And also because there are persistent pods on those albizias that haven't fallen yet. So you're getting 3 in 1. Leaves, flowers, and old fruits, seed pods. If you can't ID a tree from at least 3 of the 6, then you shouldn't be trying to ID trees. I mean in the field. Obviously not through a camera, it's not easy to do through a computer. Often you'd actually now I remember, there are actually 2 more ways to identify a tree. Smell and taste. Ooh, there's another one that makes 8 ways to identify a tree. Oh, what a beautiful sky. And that is sound. Except doesn't help identify a tree. Just that trees. Oh, there's a cuckoo calling. Trees have very particular songs when the wind blows. But you have to know the tree to know what the sound sounds like. That's just another aspect of a tree. The sound of a tree when the wind blows. That will be awesome. That colour, if we can get to the dam. I don't know where these ellies are gone. They might still be around the dam somewhere. We can go and have a look. They didn't come this way yet. But that reflection in the water would be nice from the dam wall, I expect. Hello, Anne in Texas. Now we're in the drainage line where these albizias are. We might be losing light. Anne wants to know if the elephants or other animals have ever attempted to get water from the pipelines or the pipes at the lodge. The answer is yes. Elephants, most definitely. I don't know about other animals. Baboons try and get into water tanks. These are probably the 2 prettiest of the false thorns that are flowering at the moment. This one, but we need the morning light on them. at home, and I have a problem, constant problem at home with elephants pulling up the pipes. Elephants have learned how to open taps or faucets. They don't know how to close them. But what makes it so interesting is that they know where on the pipeline to get to the water. Especially when the water is, when you're talking about like we had now, that's the pipeline that goes from the pump to the lodge. Now if an elephant were to want to get into that pipeline, it would do it no good to open the pipeline at the top of a rise, because it would have to suck very hard to get the water up the pipe. So the elephants know to get the water at the bottom of the head of water that lies in the pipe. And quite often that's at the pump itself. I've had just recently had to replace some pipes because they actually pulled it off the wall and broke the copper piping. And those copper pipes were soldered together. Graham is here. Maybe the elephants are still here. Graham, come in. Anyways, can't get those pipes anymore, so I had to somehow link a... Yeah, Mark here. Can I join you at the dam, or it's all still there? Okay, copy. Sorry, go again? Alright, we'll have to just bypass the dam. Elephants are long gone. Graham was just enjoying the sunset. Sorry, what did Phyllis ask? No, just wait till I get up onto... Okay, try now. Yeah, about 2 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Phyllis wants to know about trees with distinctive bark that you can see all year. Actually, there you go. There's another method of tree identification. Thanks for that, Phyllis. Yes, because their bark doesn't change actually all year. Their bark stays the same. And this is perhaps one of the most distinctive barks of all tree. This is a marula tree. It ages in patches. So the dark grey is the older pieces of bark that are still chipping off, and they chip off in a mosaic pattern. The lighter patches are where the old bark has chipped off, and that bark is then going to thicken with age and eventually break off. So it has this sort of mottled pattern to it. And that is a very distinctive bark. Another one, all the bush willows have all got, let's put it this way, everything has its own shape or texture of bark, and that is basically, that's basically the way as the tree grows and the dead cells on the outside slowly split as the tree grows, and it's characteristic of each tree that the bark splits in a specific way. Now, some trees are much more distinctive than others. I mean, the tambuti is another one. It's like tambuti is a very distinctive bark. The knobthorn's got a very distinctive bark. Except the knobthorn's got a bite worse than its bark. Ha ha. But thanks. So that makes 9 forms of identification on a tree. The bark. The root to some degree. I suppose you could include that too. To some degree the roots. Hello Drongo. But you only really get to see the roots when the elephants uproot them. Must have been where they maybe came in to the dam from here. These tracks on top of our tracks from earlier today, this afternoon. Kind of missed these elephants by a few minutes. We were up here, we did a turn on Gary Main. They must have come across Gary Main just after we were here this afternoon. Came in here and then went down to the dam. So if we go down, I'm guessing, wait a minute, no, I'm just seeing shapes. I'm guessing that they would have maybe come into the dam and then headed maybe south again. We'll go back towards Weaver's Nest and maybe see if they aren't somewhere there. But it's getting dark, it's after 6 already. Do something I rarely do these days, and that's take a drive down Gary Main. Alternatively, they went to the water and then they went up to Spam Road, continued up to Zoe's, in which case they're still heading north. They did come from the south. But it's getting too dark for Ellie's now anyway. Sorry I missed them. But we were with leopards. Can't have it all. Yeah, there's tracks going back south. They might have gone back south from the dam and down Weaver's Nest. Oops. Sorry, Wisteria. Who was that? Butterfly from Arkansas. Hello, Mr. G. Butterfly wants to know what flower that was. What tree? Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. And the tree with the flowers on it, Beverly, butterfly. That was a broad pod false thorn. It's related to the acacias, but they don't have thorns, so it's known as a false thorn because it looks like an acacia, has flowers, and it's the same family as the acacias. This is an old man. Sorry, old man. He just wants to go deeper into this bush, away from us. Arkansas. Excuse me, Franklins, you should be in bed already. Off you go now, Mr. and Mrs. Franklin. Bye-bye. Sweet dreams. Okay. Maybe we'll get to go down Rebecca's Road or something. Go back towards where that civet midden is. Although my guess is the reason why that, well, my guess is that that's the end of a night of foraging, that the civet ends up there. Although who knows, maybe it lives around there and it wakes up and toilets after waking up, having digested the previous night's meal. Dust in the air, either from a vehicle that's just been by or an animal. This is the perfect night for some of the nocturnal reptiles, those that come above ground when there's rain in the air. It would be better to have the actual rain, then that definitely bring them out. One or two of which are venomous. Not handle snakes if you don't know what they are, and the problem with snakes is that some look like others. Dangerous ones can look like harmless ones, and vice versa. Gee, there's a big question. Hello, Jane. Do the animals of Africa eat the flowers? If so, which ones and why? Well, the why part is easy. If animals are eating flowers, it's because they're palatable and they're nutritious. One of the most prolific flower-eating birds is the go-away bird, actually. We know that from the sausage tree and experiencing it when it was in flower. Funny enough, sausage trees in the lodge have still got flowers on, a lot of flowers on the ground that the nyala are getting to. But a lot of antelope eat the flowers of the sausage tree, including baboons and monkeys. Acacias, the monkeys eat the... Vervet monkeys also eat a lot of flowers. I think vervet monkeys eat more flowers than baboons, but baboons do eat them too. Vervet monkeys tend to like a lot of flower buds of the acacias to some extent. Kudu, I've noticed kudu eating flowers. It depends on the flower and it depends on, yeah. There's everything flowers, so whether they're a flower that is conspicuous enough and big enough to provide some sort of nutrition is another matter. Flowers obviously are not palatable, some flowers are not edible, some flowers might be toxic, but I don't know which ones offhand. Some flowers are just left alone. See the silhouette of the Wahlbergs on their nest. I did, you can't see it now. You can see it again from here. Can you see that, Seb? In the middle of that knob saw. Well, I just want the silhouette. That's one of the smallest beaks of the eagles. I mean, it is a fairly small eagle, but it's also got a very small beak because it eats mostly small birds, maybe some small mammals. Perfect time, this time of the evening when there is a bit of a silhouette, to see when there's a chick moving around. It'll be a lot easier to see than during the day. But there you can see that nest. It's got to be a good, I'd say 3 feet deep, from being added to every year. Aha. first flower buds of the tree orchid have come out. Now those big things hanging down, those are seed pods from last year, but those other spikes coming out of this orchid, those are the last year seed pods. But up on there we go, look at that coming out at the back there. Behind those pods are the new flower buds for this orchid, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 flower spikes coming up. So we're going to keep, that's something to keep an eye on in the next few days for the three of us. See how long it's going to take for those flowers to open up. Let me just go to the top a little bit higher. Can we just go to those flower buds at the... Never mind.
Sorry, Mark?
No, can we just get those flower buds at the top? Yeah, those ones.
These ones?
Yeah, and the ones going to the side from there, yeah, those.
This one?
Yeah, I just wanted to see which ones might have the first. I think there's that one at the bottom that's going to have the biggest. It's got the biggest bud. That'll be the first flower to open. But I've been waiting for that to happen. Ancelia is the genus for that group of tree orchids. Ancelia gigantea, that species, actually subspecies, we have 2 subspecies. Gigantea gigantea and Gigantea natalita, I think it is. Natalitia. Or Natalica, no, Natalitia. Ed, hello Ed. Wanting to know if black mambas can climb trees. Ed, yes they do. They spend a fair portion of their life in trees. Their scientific name is Dendroaspis, and that refers to their arboreal lifestyle. Dendro meaning tree, aspis meaning, well, asp. An asp is an asp. Actually, there's an asp that is not a mamba. But let's not get confusing now. Black mambas love chameleons. They go, it's like worm slung. Also live in trees like chameleons. Black mambas also like squirrels, and I guess the odd bird. And you cut out as soon as you said 1 minute to go. So I got what is in their makeup that takes them. That's all I got. What's in the makeup? I suppose a UV factor. Okay. Why didn't the bird get sick from eating the scorpion? Well, because the scorpion isn't poisonous. We wouldn't get sick if we ate a scorpion. Of course, for us, we'd have to maybe cut the end of the tail off, the sting off. But the bird's gullet is probably immune to the sting, but the scorpion would have probably been dead by the time it swallowed it. And if the venom doesn't get into the bloodstream, I mean, if you swallowed scorpion venom, nothing would happen to you, unless you had an ulcer or an open wound somewhere in your digestive system and it got into your bloodstream. But digesting venom, which is essentially just a protein, digesting venom is not going to hurt you. It's when it is injected into you by means of a very specialized little hypodermic needle that the scorpion has on the end of its tail. That's when it's going to make you feel awful. So the bird, simple answer, didn't get sick because its scorpion isn't poisonous. But a scorpion is venomous, and the venom doesn't hurt you if you swallow it. And I don't think the scorpion would have been able to sting the bird in the throat, inside its digestive system. Well, we're here on Zoe's Road. We've got this beautiful big open panorama ahead of us. I was hoping that maybe there'd be a bolt of lightning and a drum roll of thunder to say goodbye with, but no such luck. There's just dark rain out there in the southeast. Might get some outside tonight. We're lucky. We literally skirted the edge of that storm this afternoon. It'd be nice to know how much fell, but I think even at Buffelshoek Dam there wouldn't have been that much. We saw some rain to the east, but most of it must have been falling over Kruger. Be interesting to know what fell over Nkoro, because Nkoro is further east of us, and that rain would have, I'm sure, been a little bit harder at Nkoro. My name is Mark, and Seb is on camera. Tara has been in final control, and I want to thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Lucky to have seen Karula, and hopefully we'll see them again tomorrow. They might come back from Buffelshoek. Tara will be on drive, and I will be on camera. Seb will be in final control. So do join us then. Remember, it will be half an hour earlier. We have to go to bed half an hour earlier tonight. For some of us, that's easy. It's just the going to bed is not the hard part. It's the waking up. So we'll see you at 5:30 tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll catch some sunrises again. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Hi everybody, this is Tara in Final Control. Thank you so much for joining us, and what a brilliant near miss with the rain this afternoon. But just to remind you, 5:30 Central Africa time is the time we're going to be heading out tomorrow morning, and I have included the world clock, and thanks to Danny for giving me that link. Just so if any of you, if you don't know what time that's going to be, equivalent to your time wherever you are in the world, then you can have a look up on the world clock and see what time it is. So there you go. That's to help you out with the different times across the world, because we don't have that much space to write everybody's equivalent time. So hopefully that'll help everybody out there. So do take care wherever you are in the world, and if you can join us tomorrow, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for some of you. Some of you maybe later on in the evening, then please do. I'll be heading out as long as there's no rain about, and see if we can try and find Karula and the cubs again, and see if we can find anything else out there of interest tomorrow morning. But thanks again, and see you again soon.